Hey everyone, good evening. It's that time of the week again. Monday 8 o'clock, it's Richard from BTFI. Good to see you. Hope you're well, hope you've had a good start to the week. How does Monday arrive so quickly? What happens? Because I'm pretty sure a moment ago it was Friday and now it's Monday. Where have those few days gone? Anyway, I hope you're good. It was Valentine's weekend. Send me some love. Hey, Bethan. Any form of love will do that you want to send, all gratefully received. So I hope you had a really loved up weekend. Actually, I was going to say type in the comments what you were doing, but actually don't type in the comments what you were doing over the Valentine's weekend. All I can say is, though, ours was high romance. Kelly and I had 3 weddings last year. For those of you who didn't know, all to each other, in case you didn't know that. And yeah, so you know, we were only going to have a really romantic Valentine's Day, our first Valentine's weekend as Mr. and Mrs. So yeah, that was it really. Kelly booked to work away for 3 days to run a retreat, and I was here with the pooch and Mia. So we had a pooch and daughter weekend. So lots of kissing happened, mostly the pooch kissing us, but it was all high romance. We sat down for a nice candlelit dinner, the 3 of us. Anyway, Kelly had the most extraordinary time running her retreat, which seems like it was a massive success, of course. So all good. So lots of love. I hope you had even more love than we had in our household. So that brings me to tonight. I have noticed we're feeling the love a bit in the BTFI group. We're almost at 400. We've got to get to 400 in the next 24 hours, I reckon. So if you're not in the BTFI group, then come and join us. We'll post the link in the comments below and come and hang out with us. So we're a group of action takers, ass kickers, thought leaders, go-getters, supporters, lovers. It's everything there for you, and we have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of play, and we have a lot of learning, and we have a lot of accountability. So if you don't want to make stuff happen in your life, don't come and join our group. If you do, come and join the group. So yeah, we'll post a link. Come and say hello. So hi Charlotte on, hello Emma, hola. Was an amazing retreat. Of course you were on the retreat. Hope you got back home safe and sound to Bonnie, Scotland. So tonight, I have to admit, this is not from a moaning place, from a reality place. I'm completely maxed out at the moment. Loads of corporate stuff, loads of speaking gigs, tons of workshops I've got from tomorrow. I have 11 2-hour coaching sessions with an exec team. So I feel really just edging on that kind of overwhelmed place, you know, that kind of bit where you go, it's lots, it's all great stuff, and it feels like it's quite a lot. And anyway, within all of that, my attention feels like it's very drawn into how I am spending my time, my outcomes for my day, my outcomes for sessions, whether that's a workshop or whether that's coaching or whether that's a keynote. I feel like more than ever, I need to get really clear on what I'm doing, what it's going to deliver, why the hell I'm doing it. And from there, I can start to create what the session looks like. And what's become really clear, more clear, I think, in the last few weeks or so, or at least it's on my radar, so therefore I'm noticing it. It's like when you want to buy a yellow car, suddenly you notice everyone's got a yellow car. I'm noticing all the yellow cars at the moment, which is around outcomes and the number of conversations I am having every single day with clients, teams, and individuals that actually have no clue what their outcome is. Big and small, longer term, short term, outcome for being in that session. Or we're planning an event and they just don't know their outcome. So today I've been with the most extraordinary team, fabulous bunch of people, playing for big stakes, playing for really big stakes, doing great stuff, very bright, very talented. And there was just this moment of realization in the session when one of them said, oh, you know, I've got this great idea for, you know, how we kind of manage our week and manage our meetings and manage our time. And I can't remember all of the steps now, but I do remember that there was one which is about whenever you set up a meeting, you go, so what's this meeting for? And then you go, what's the impact it's going to have in the business? And who needs to be in that meeting? And how is that meeting going to add value? And what are the top 3 things we're going to discuss? As though this was a moment of great revelation for them. And I guess in some ways it probably was in that moment. And I was like, really? Is this really the conversation we're having about setting outcomes? You mean you don't do this stuff? And I think I'm just really baffled by it. I'm really amazed that actually, even if you run a really shit business and you don't have any customers, let alone the ones that have, multi-million pound clients, that some of that basic rigor around outcomes is not in place. So tonight we're going to talk a bit about outcomes. I'm going to keep it quite a short one tonight. It's a bit more awareness raising than teaching today. So whenever I'm asked to speak at a conference or put together a coaching program or go in and run a team event, I'll always do an assessment first. There's always a bit of, kind of where are you, understand the context that it currently is in. And then we'll obviously get into some questions around, so what's your outcome? I had this very conversation last week with a client for a conference that I'm running for 3 days, 250, massive business. And the first question was, actually, what's your outcome? And what they tell me are things like, this is, we want people to be inspired. We want people to have fun. We want people to collaborate, to feel a part of something much bigger. And you go, okay, that's great. And they're actually all objectives, not really outcomes. So they're objectives. So actually, when you've got all of those things, how will you know you've got it? How will your business be a better place as a result of it? Because creating the 2 or 3 days is easy. The piece we've got to focus on is once the 2 or 3 days are over, how will your business be a better place as a result of those objectives? And you know what they say? Pretty much 9 times out of 10, that is a great question. Really? How can you do this without asking that question? How can you not consider, how is this better? How is the world better? How is your organization better? How is the business better as a result of doing this thing? But they don't do it. And I go, wow, that's a really great question. You go, how can you reverse engineer something if you don't know that bit? Do you know what? It's really easy to create a workshop, a conference, a speaking session where people are inspired and they have fun and they learn stuff and they learn about collaborating. That's easy. It's a piece of piss to do. The hard bit is when we go, and how is the business better? How will we know? What will we see immediately? Because that's a non-negotiable for me. I don't know for you and what you do in your business, but for me in BTFI and for my clients, any time I spend with them, their business, the individual, the team has to be better as a result of any time I spend with them, even if that's a minute. I feel very strongly about that. Otherwise, there's no point. So in a minute has to add value, a week has to add value, and so on. And I can only add that if I go, how will you know? How will we see that step change? And then we work it back. So tonight this is about outcomes. It's about how we go one step beyond that question of just an objective or a kind of a destination we're going to hit. So here's what will be really useful: is grab a pen and a piece of paper, because I want you just to scribble a few things down. I just want you to think about 3 things. The first thing I want you to think about is in the next, it's going to go 90 days, but maybe that's too big a stretch. Let's go in the next 30 days. What's your objective in that time? So what's your objective? If it works better for you to do a 7 days, actually you do 7 days. Do whatever suits you best. What's your objective for that period of time? 7 days, 30 days. What's your objective? So that's what do you want? Okay? If you want to comment, chuck it in the comments. Tell me what your objectives are for the next 7 days, 30 days. Some of you I know are going to be going, oh yeah, I've actually got this to-do list. That's not an objective, that's a to-do list. So what's your objective? What is it going to deliver in the next 30 days? And then the question is, so what's your outcome for that objective? So what's going to be different? How will you know that you have achieved that objective? What will be different in your life? What will be different in your business? What will be different for your customers? Okay, so we go beyond just the tangible thing and we go, so what's going to be the step change? So objective, Charlotte, is the thing, the activity. So when I said, you know, for the corporate last week, for the speaking gig, when I asked them what their outcome was, what they gave me were objectives, which were, we want people to be inspired, have fun, collaborate. So those are objectives. The outcome is when we turn it into, so what does that mean? What does that give us? What's the fallout of delivering that thing? So that becomes, the objective is the thing, the outcome is what happens as a result of that thing. Yeah? Hopefully that helps. So what's the objective? What's the thing you're going to deliver in the next 30 days? The outcome is, so what's going to be the benefit of that? What happens? What falls out of it? How is the business? How is your life? How is that better for your customers as a result of that? So that's your evidence piece, right? That's what are you going to see as a result of delivering that objective? Otherwise, we just do objectives and we don't know what the fuck they tap into. We don't know what they connect with. We don't understand the purpose piece of it. Frameworks created for me. I saw Kelly saying that completed the membership site. So they're pretty meaty things, right? Okay, so this next question is about, for me, is when we go one step beyond, is we go, and so what? So you've got an objective, you've got a thing, you've got this is what it's going to give. The next piece is, and so what? So what's the bigger added value piece that goes beyond that? How is the planet better? How is what you deliver over and above just the stuff different as a result of it? Because the so what question is, we get so lost in going, we're going to deliver on this objective, this is the next bit, this is the next bit, this is the next bit, and actually we fail to go, and so what? And so what if we don't deliver that? And then we go, and I asked this question today of them, go, so what if we don't do any of this? And a couple of the things they went, well, then nothing really. You go, then why the hell are you doing it? Because if you can't answer the so what, if you go, well, nothing, then you go, don't do that thing, do something else, spend your energy on something else. And then there were a couple of things today when I said, and so what? And they go, so what? Oh, if we don't do this, then we don't have this, and we don't have that, and we can't deliver on this, and the customer's going to be upset about that, and we promised them this, and that's what we stand for, and that fits with our values, and that's in our DNA. You go, okay. There's enough of a reason. So, the objective is your thing. What's your thing? What is it you need to do? The outcome is, so what happens as a result of that? What does that deliver? And then the so what piece is the why. Why? What's bigger than that? What's the ripple that falls out from that? And only once you've got those three pieces can you begin to reverse engineer. You're going to know whether it's in alignment. So remember, back to Performance Map. Go back to the old Facebook Live on Performance Map if you haven't seen that one already. This is about alignment. That's about the on purpose. Even last week's Facebook about being on purpose. So this is where we get the alignment piece. We're ensuring that our so what fits with our purpose. Then we've got our outcome, then we've got our objective, and then we can start to work the steps back to go, what has to be true day by day, week by week, in order to deliver on it. So that's true for your 30 days. Kelly does rigor and structure, so she's going to have her 30-day plan. But for some of you in here that don't do as much structure as Kelly does, work it back. Week by week. Some of you will be day by day to go, what do I need to be delivering on every day so that I hit that place in 30 days? So, lots of comments. Joe, my outcome is I will add better value for my... Oh, it's this... See, I'm really sorry on the phone. I can't see all the comments. I see half the comment. So I will read all of the comments then when we're done. And I'll comment on them. If you've got any questions, pop your questions in. I'm definitely a work back person, Beth, and yeah, the reverse engineer piece is really important. And so many people go the other way around. They go start doing the first bit, doing stuff, and then it doesn't plug into anything. And they wonder why they don't hit a destination, and the loop remains open. They never close the loop. So they're really busy doing a load of stuff, which maybe is brilliant stuff, but it plugs into nothing. So you got to start at that end point, and then you got to work back. So if you've got questions, chuck them at me. If you haven't, that's okay too. This is real basic rigor. So, you know, in the number of sessions and workshops that I sit in where we're talking about how a team or a business delivers on extraordinary things. So we're going, how do they play bigger and bolder and braver and more courageous and pushing the boundaries every day, and that every action we take is about making the business better, making the work better. And then we get into the basics and we go, the basic rigor around running a project, running a business, relationships, teams, meetings. Actually, a lot of the rigor is just really ropey. But it's amazing what we normalize, right? We just do a load of stuff and we go, that's just normal around here. And only when we step out and we look back in do we go, it's not normal. It's far from normal. So if you can deliver great things doing it like this, where it's propped up with matchsticks and a bit of sellotape, then imagine what you could do if you got some structure in there. And if you were just more bit diligent and a bit more tenacity to do the things you need to do in order to deliver your outcomes. And bloody hell, start with your outcomes. Be really clear on that and then work backwards. So that's it for me. I'm going to go and do another couple of hours work to prep for things this week. So I hope you have a super evening if you're watching live. If you're watching this on catch up, that's cool. Ask questions. Still ask questions and I'll answer. Obviously I won't answer live because I won't be here, but I will respond to you. If you're not a part of the BTFI group, come and join the BTFI group, because it's not just the cool people, it's the community, it's the tribe, it's some support for you. So come and hang out with us. The link is all there for you. And go and set some outcomes and go and ask yourself, so what? And if you can't answer the so what, then there's a question around, why the hell are you doing that thing? So you need to find the so what, tap it into it, or just make maybe a tough decision around whether that outcome, whether that objective is going to deliver. Okay, have a super night, and thanks for tuning in. And I will see you again 8 o'clock next week. Make it a great one. See ya. Good night. Over and out.